You know what? Sometimes you have some times that tears are flowing from your eyes. Sometimes you have some times that you have to be pushing yourself on because you don't know how you're going to do it. You don't know how you're going to make it. You don't know where you're going to go. You don't know nothing, but you're just going to just do it, you know? And that's just how it is sometimes. There's sometimes that there's some situations that you can't get yourself out of. I remember one of the time I was pregnant with my son, Josiah. And I had my daughter beside me. My daughter was really young. She was like about she was really young. She was probably around 3 or so. And I've never told my husband this because I didn't want to stress him. I've never told him this. But it's like I was coming from the hospital because I just did a checkup. Now, I was over in England at the time because and pregnant. And I did a checkup. And it's like I came from the checkup and I was so sad because it's like I was like, oh my gosh, it's just one unending story after another. And at the time my husband was not in England because at that time there was so much things that we was trying to sort out, and he was not there in England at the time. And I literally was walking in the rain crying. I was crying in tears because I knew if my husband was there, I wouldn't be walking in this rain. I would not be in the situation that I was in because he always made sure that, you know, that we was all right. He always did that. He always made sure of that. He's a good father and a good husband. He always makes sure of that. So I was crying, tears in and tears out. And my daughter was in the pram and I was pushing her in the pram with the plastic covering her. And I was just walking in the rain. And my belly was there big at the time. That time I never got my vehicle yet. It was after that experience, then afterwards then my husband got a vehicle for me, you know, at that time. But the time before that time there, no, I did not have a vehicle. And I was crying, yo. It was terrible. I was crying in tears. But, you know, when you look back on those times, it's not something that makes you sad. It makes you strengthen. It makes you happy because it makes you know that through it all, there is a way. Through it all, there is a time of overcoming, and there's a time that God gives you a strength that you don't even know that you have, because at that time I felt like I had no more strength. I felt like I was empty and all I could do was just cry. And as the rain was pouring on me and dripping over me, the tears was just flowing. It was just flowing. And I have to give thanks. At that very much time as well, I was in England as well. There was an auntie, and she was like, if I needed help, like babysitting and stuff like that, she'll always be there. Auntie Ferris always be there for me, you know. And I felt so blessed to have her, you know. So God always sends little persons to just come in there and just help you at the time of need. There's so much people that helped me at my time of need when I needed that help, you know. And I feel so blessed to have them, and they know who they are. You know, I can't call out everybody because it's so much people, but God is good, man. God is good. So I will say to you right now, if I could get through that time and I could just push on through, you can push on through this time too. It's not going to be easy. Nothing is ever good that is easy. But when you get it and when you receive it, the joy that comes over you, because when I had my son, the joy that came over me was ridiculous. It was an overwhelming joy. And even at that time there, the enemy was still trying to attack and destroy that memorable moment. That time my husband flew over when I just had my son, and he surprised me in the hospital. And that's another story to itself. I'll tell you that story another time. I have so much stories. And he flew over and he surprised me, and tears run from my eyes because I was so happy to see him. Because, you know, it was, oh my God, you do not understand. It was so much things. But God is good. God is good, you know. And it's good when you look back on those times and you remember those times. And I know sometimes he might not think that I appreciate those times. And I know sometimes he might not think that you know, because as ladies, sometimes we don't say that much things. But, you know, I want him to know I appreciate those times and I appreciate those little sacrifices, you know. So yeah, but everyone, stay strong, stay firm, and continue the good works. All right, shalom, bye.